School education plays a core part in most of our lives, but it's not the only place where learning takes place. Take Henry Ford, for example. He only schooled until the age of 15, but that didn't stop him from forming one of the world's most iconic companies, the Ford Motor Company, which is still famous today. And did you know that Thomas Edison spent just 3 months of his life in school, but that didn't prevent him from becoming a great innovator and inventor? Early in his adult life, Edison had what would now be described as a light bulb moment when he created the first electric light. The key point that I'm making is this: both of these innovators were educated, just not in the conventional sense. The little formal education that both Ford and Edison did have didn't mean that they were uneducated. On the contrary, their innovative and creative brilliance speaks for itself. The word education is derived from the Latin word EduCARE, which means to draw out and to put into practice. And that's exactly what Ford and Edison did. They tapped into their innate potential and put it towards the betterment of society. Speaking of education, one of the greatest thinkers of all time was the Greek philosopher Socrates. You may have heard of his Socratic method. It's a form of education which offers a unique approach to learning. His method of education wasn't there to simply give students the answers. Instead, it encourages the student to introspect and reflect. Simply put, the student develops their own answers and often their own solutions to problems, which is known as critical thinking. Critical thinking gives students the ability to think clearly and to act rationally. With this comes the confidence and competence to trust in themselves, to have sound judgment and to make good, conscious, informed decisions. Now, I want to be clear on something. I'm not saying that school isn't important, but what I am saying is that life is the greatest educator of all. Everything that we need is within ourselves. We are self-sufficient. However, if you don't go within, you go without. And whilst in many ways it may be good to think out aloud, inevitably the process must always begin from within. Nowadays, governments from around the world are actively encouraging individuals from all walks of life to step into the classroom. These individuals may not necessarily have educational qualifications, but what they do have is a vast wealth of wisdom, knowledge, and experience to share. They can use this experience to inspire, motivate, innovate, and educate. And let's not forget one important thing. Even after a person leaves school, this doesn't mean that education comes to an end. In many ways, it's only just beginning. You see, learning is an eternal process that will be with us throughout our entire lives. With this in mind, the greatest gift that we can give to our children is to teach them how to think and not what to think. And this can be achieved through the process of EduCARE and the Socratic method of learning. You see, knowledge in and of itself is of little use until it's put into practice. Therefore, right from the outset, we should teach our children how to organize the knowledge they have learned from school and in life in order to give them the most complete and comprehensive education available, which will lead to them creating the brightest future possible for themselves and allow them to contribute positively to the upliftment of society. To explore the relationship between movement, teaching, learning, and its impact on the development of character, I invite you to join me on Facebook at MA EduCARE, where we can learn, discuss, and explore these concepts together and create a positive movement for change.